All right. Got that. All right. I believe everything is good to go. All right. So we're live now. It's a bit weird. So Magic is down. Magic Arena is down for maintenance for like another half hour. So I guess we're just doing a bit of a podcast for a bit. Hello, how's it going? I'm the Eight of Spades. Yeah, I'm planning to be streaming Aetherdrift Limited pretty much immediately. But until then, I have the card list in front of me. So let's have a look. I mean, these are all like the mythics and stuff. I have them sorted by rarity for now. I guess I don't really know how Aetherdrift Limited is going to play out. I'm not a limited master, but I do know a fair amount about Explorer. So let's see if any of these cards are good in Explorer. And the answer is Ketramos. Obviously, there's been a huge amount of hype around that. Ketramos has a lot of good keywords, draws a lot of cards, and is a 3-mana 4/4 if it can get attacking. So yeah, I mean, this is obviously going to be a real thing. Loot looks expensive and like probably bad. There aren't any Explorer decks for it. Alright. So this is Rakdos. 5 mana, 5/4. Decent keywords, decent stat, kind of expensive. Get a creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield for a turn. I mean, that seems kind of bad. Like, I don't think the Rakdos midrange deck wants that. I'm just trying to think, like, what creatures would they even be getting back? And, like, Shieldred doesn't do anything. Like, Blood Tithe Harvester is not exciting at all. So it's probably just bad in Rakdos. There's Chandra here. Is very much like Vehicle Tribal, and vehicles aren't any good, so we're going to say no to that. Hazret Godseeker. I guess it could be top end for a red aggressive deck, but I guess, I mean, the burn decks and burn adjacent decks are always going to be wanting to deal damage every turn. So like they should be able to get to max speed if there are other good max speed cards that they want to play, but like you don't want this to be the one starting your engines because then you're spending turn 2 doing nothing. But like, I don't know, if you start your engines on turn 1 and you attack like turn 2, 3, 4, and then Hazoret is like you play it on turn 5 and attack, maybe that's fine. Maybe they can't profitably block it by that point. Alright, we're going to scroll down a bit. We've got some nonsense. We have another Gear Hulk here. 4 mana, 4/4. Lifelink Ward 1. That's not great, but fine. And it takes a card, but it gives them a card back. Yeah, that's probably just no good. Now, if this were just that player discards that card, period, end of sentence, maybe even then it's kind of sketch. The Ward 1 would help with that, but I don't think so. Alright, this is a 6 mana... Yeah, okay, so this is no good. It's like an aggressive... You cannot be playing aggressive 6 drops. Like, it's too late at that point. Radiant Lotus is either going to be completely busted or completely useless. Like, you could get a good amount of artifacts onto the field, but what do you do with it? Like, you have to have 6 mana. You have to have 6 mana and then sacrifice like 3 artifacts to get 9 mana. I don't know. I mean, you could probably do something with that. Getting to 6 mana first is tough though. Riptide Gear Hulk is like pretty good. I mean, this is Nuts and Commander, obviously, but everything is Nuts and Commander, so yeah. I mean, it doesn't really fit into most constructed formats though. Like blue-white, you want to be doing control mostly. You don't want to be playing creatures really. This card just doesn't do all that much. I mean, it's 5 mana. It's a 5 mana card that does nothing until the next turn. Right, Salvation Engine. Artifact creatures get +2/+2. Crew 6? Okay, yeah, no, you're not crewing 6. That ain't happening. Ether Spark. Everyone's talked about the Ether Spark a billion times. It's kind of jank. So this is Death Shadow Vehicle. But like it kind of enables itself with the activated ability. You can play it on 1 and not die because it's not a creature. I don't know, maybe you can try some Death Shadow stuff, but like there's a reason Death Shadow isn't really a thing. Alright, Speed Demon. This is the card that famously doesn't have haste and also has just an ordinary truck in the art. Let's zoom in on that. Just a regular old truck. Thanks for the magic thematics there. Wonderful. And it's like, it'll draw you a bunch of cards. It's like a Super Phyrexian Arena on a stick. It is also a demon, which is certainly relevant. I could see Rakdos midrange playing this. I mean, you kind of want to have Shieldred in play for it. But I can see that being a thing in Rakdos midrange. At the very least, you probably want to try it, right? Additional +1/+1 counter on it. If its mana value is 4 or less, so it's 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, I mean that's just +1/+1 counter Stompy is never is never going to be good in Explorer. Could be fine in Standard, but I don't know anything about Standard, so who knows? Let's check. Yep. Alright, it's not coming back early. Alright, we've got a giant 7-mana vehicle. So this is like the only thing that could get this into play is like Greasefang, and this is not good in Greasefang. Just because it doesn't leave any bodies behind. Like, the thing with Parhelion is that, like, you play it, you get some angels, and they kill it, and you still have angels. Whereas this is just, like, not that. 6 mana, make a bunch of insects. I mean, the second ability is, like, you need to be doing self-sacrifice stuff for this, because you're just never going to fool your opponent into killing your insects before they just kill this. Alright. We're almost through the letter A. Actually, did we get into rares? Are these rares at this point? Are these all the mythics up here? Alright. Alright. Whenever you activate an exhaust ability, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, that's not... I mean, it's a 4/2. Like, even if you get it back a bunch, it's no Arclight Phoenix, that's for sure. I mean, I guess, like, what you could do, like, red, green, get a bunch of these in the yard, bring a bunch of them back, and then it's just worse than Arclight Phoenix because it's a ground creature without haste. Yeah, there's no way that's good. Alright, here we have a 5-mana 8/8 Trampler. They really are just putting more numbers on green creatures until they get good. Still strictly worse than Colossal Dreadmaw, somehow. Yeah, okay. I mean, it can be a bad combat trick. It can be a bad combat trick, but otherwise it's a 5-mana trample 8/8. Alright, here we have a 1-mana card. 1-mana 2/1 even. So this one's off to a good start. White mana tap, exert, make a 1/1 cat with lifelink. Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-mana card, right? It's like a 1-mana 2/1. That's like fine aggressively. It's legendary, which is a bit awkward, but it does have cycling, so it's not too bad if you draw a couple of them. Right, we've got a Verge. We've got Bloodghast. Was Bloodghast always... I don't know if Bloodghast was always Pioneer legal, but it is now. I mean, that's certainly a playable power level if you have graveyard stuff going on. Boom Mobile. 4 mana of any one color, only to activate abilities. That's like the biggest, like, oh my god, it's a new it's like great. Oh nope, it sucks. So I guess you can activate its own ability for x=1. So like it's kind of... No, I mean, There's no way. There's just no way. Gotta have some really good abilities for that. And I don't think Explorer really has that sort of thing. Bulwark Ox. Attacks while saddled, put a 1/1 counter, sack it. Creatures with counters get hexproof and is just indestructible. Okay, yeah, that's not super Explorer playable. 1 mana, 1/1 menace. Start your engines. Okay, I mean this could go with that Hazret up top, so this starts your engines early. It can almost certainly attack, because like it has menace. Your opponent is not going to get 2 blockers out to block this on like turn 2. So it'll get you to speed 2. And then like if it has double strike, fine. But more importantly, you have start your engines ticking for your Hazret later. Alright, so this is blue-red. Ward 2, pay 2 life. That's a kind of a brutal ward. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn for each card discarded this way. Whenever that creature deals combat damage to a player this turn, you draw a card. Okay, I mean, it's like haste away from being like a Phoenix backup plan, right? Like, you have your artist's talent out, your graveyard is, rest in peace or whatever. You play this, you cast a bunch of spells, like, really how much, like say you have a random 1/3, like a Picklock Prankster, right? So you spend 4 mana on this, and then like 3 spells gives your Picklock Prankster +6/+0. You draw a card when it hits. And like if you untap with this, you certainly win the game, but probably too interactable for Phoenix. Kind of close though. Definitely close though. Like I might even I don't know, it's a rare. Like you might want to try it just to see instead of like Crackling Drake or something. Alright, green white vehicle stuff. Alright, so this is mono red for Phyrexian Arena. It's the aggressive red decks cannot be spending 3 mana on an enchantment that only draws a single card a turn. And like the red mid-rangey decks, probably red is too tough. Probably too tough. It would certainly be cool, like, if the mana does work, this is like kind of okay in Rakdos mid-range, but I don't think the mana works enough. And they already have they already have their Phyrexian Arena that's better than that if you have demons, so probably not. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, create that many 2/2 zombie creature tokens tapped. Yeah. Curse Cloth Wrappings. Oh right, this is this is this one. That's zombie commander stuff, obviously. Duretti Rocketeer Engineer. Power equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. And when it enters or attacks, you do the Goblin Welder thing. I guess. I mean, it's a 5 mana Goblin Welder. I guess that could be a thing in like standard. I don't know. Maybe. It's close, but I think probably 5 mana for Goblin Welder is too much. Alright, so this is Siege Rhino on a vehicle. Kind of mid. So here's your... So yeah, I mean, this is your 1 mana... This is your 1 mana, basically, affinity for artifacts. So it's basically free, Ravenous Chupacabra something. And then, I mean, you're never going to destroy your own creature. That would be ridiculous. And crew 2, like, if this were just an artifact creature, this would be insane. As a vehicle, I think it's just bad. We've got a cute little doggo. And super awkward artifact hate. Not going to be good enough. Alright. 2 mana, 2/2 exhaust. Alright. You can give other creatures haste. And get a little bigger. It can make a 4/4. Yeah, I mean... So it's like a 3 mana 3/3 that gives other things haste. It doesn't give itself haste. If the exhaust ability gave itself haste, then maybe, but like the red aggressive decks are playing a bunch of haste creatures anyway. You don't need to give them haste because they already have it. And 4 mana for a 4/4 is just way too slow and bad in those decks. Explosive Getaway is red-white damage-based sweeper. Alright. Start your engines. Whenever your attack deals 1 to each opponent. So you're going to get max speed super easily with this. Like, you literally just need to attack. Source you control would deal damage to an opponent. Deals that much damage +1. It's too aggressive to be the good mid-rangey card, and it's too expensive to be a good aggressive card. 3 mana 3/3 haste gives vehicles haste. If a pirate and a vehicle attacked, draw 3, discard 2. This is just way too many moving parts for, like, I guess pretty good selection and technically card advantage. Alright, so this is the extra combat step, commander stuff. Here's your 1 mana 2/1 that starts your engines. If there's a start your engines deck in standard, or maybe an explorer, this will be like the best card in it. Otherwise, it's unplayable. Alright, 3 mana 4/2 vehicle. Okay, I guess it enters as a haste, trample haste, 3 mana 4/2. And you can bring it back once. I mean, this is just like 3 mana 4/2 isn't even that good. Alright, Gonti. Cast a spell they don't know, make a treasure token. Damage looks at top of your opponent's library. Exiles it face down. Play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Mana of any type. Yeah, okay. So it's just going to be too hard to get stuff your opponent controls. Like, you have to deal combat damage to them. Guardian Sunmare. Attacks while saddled. You get a permanent 3 or less onto the battlefield. Saddle 4 is kind of ludicrous. Not that's just too much. Alright, so this is other goblins have haste. Make a 1/1 that attacks. Alright, this is quite good in goblins. I don't know if goblins is a real deck, but this might make it one. Mounts and vehicles have haste. Whenever a vehicle enters, becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. I could see, like, maybe a red-white aggressive vehicles deck with 4 copies of this. But, I don't know, it's kind of a tough ask. Lightcraft engine. Okay, I mean, that's just like a bad... Yeah, that's just like a bad Lord effect. Powers equal to the number of lands you control. Entries or attacks. Just get a land. Crew 4. What are they doing with all of these crew 4s and saddle 4s? Like, it's just impossible. Marketback Walker is... Yeah, I mean, you want to do like proliferate stuff or harden scales or whatever. If you do that, it's probably fine. It's 227. I'm gonna get a glass of water and be right back, and hopefully when I come back I will be able to start playing. So, see you in a bit. Alright, I have returned, and 228. Arena seems to still be on maintenance. Let's look at a couple more cards, shall we? Mendicant Core, Guidelight, 2 mana, like something, probably like 3 or 4, at least a 1/3, probably more than that. Start your engines. If you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 1 if you do copy it. Alright, well, this is going to be like there are Simulac and Synthesizer decks. If this isn't good in those decks are just bad. Alright. So this is a 1 mana 1/1 that can draw you a bunch of cards and pump your Merfolk. Probably good in Merfolk, probably pretty much terrible otherwise. Monument to Endurance. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that has been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure token. Each opponent loses 3 life. Alright, I think there might be a self-discard deck in here somewhere. Alright, so this is a colorless land that starts your engines. Taps for colorless, and then becomes Temple of the False Gods if you have max speed. Yeah, I mean, I can see this being like a commander thing. Like, commander players love their lands that tap for 2 colorless. Ooh, Ovia. Ovia Pashery was like my first ever commander deck, and boy, it was bad. 4 mana, 1/2. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. Green, tap, you may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2 1/1 counters on it. Alright, well, that's certainly funny. You can put some big green idiots in there. Is it even like... I don't know, probably going to be putting Eldrazi in, right? Probably fine. If it's a 4 mana 1/2 that has to untap to do anything. Arena. Alright, I think Arena is back on. I'm going to try to load Arena. I have clicked reconnect. And now we have to see if it actually reconnects. Alright. What if I click reconnect again? Please let me in. Let me in. Please let me in. I want to spend 10,000 gold to go 0-3 in a draft. Alright. Still not working. How about... Oh, if I close the window, it disappears. Alright. An error occurred while launching this game. Game already running. Well, that's not true. So I don't know about that one, Chief. Ah, the joys of trying to live debug. Please launch. Alright. Well, it says that it's already running. It certainly isn't. Alright, Steam seems to think that Magic Arena is currently running when it isn't. So that's fun. So I'm going to tell Steam to stop it. It says stopping now. And it's continuing to say stopping. Oh boy. What fun. Alright, well, let's try it again. Alright. I think I need to just, like, exit Steam. It says waiting for Magic Arena to shut down. Magic Arena is not running. I have my task manager open. And there's certainly no... Did it work? I think it may have worked. Let's try opening up Magic Arena now. Please work. Alright, launching, downloading content. That's a good sign. Alright. Well, it got all the way up to 100% and then dropped back down to 0%, and then it did that a second time. But it seems to have finished. Ooh, Civilization 7 is now available. I forgot about that. I don't know how I forgot about that. I definitely knew it. Alright. I think we're doing it. Getting achievements somehow. Alright, we are in. Do I get free stuff? Ooh, I get free stuff. And free basic lands. Alright, that's fun. Well, I do love opening packs, so let's open some packs. Oh boy, a whole bunch of new cards. What a surprise. Possession Engine. This is the mind control vehicle, which seems decent, but not great. Alright, let's open another pack. This is the super convoluted pirate vehicle synergy thing. And this is the Rakdos 4-mana aggressive card. And some other stuff, of course. Let's see what achievements are. Ready to claim, it says. Reach gold rank in either constructed or limited. Alright. But what do I get for that, though? Reach platinum rank in constructed. Cool. Alright, well I guess that's all of that. Let's... What am I clicking on? I don't remember what button I even clicked on there. Ah, the store. Daily deals. Nothing interesting in the daily deals. Alright, let's get us into a premier draft. And I need to go 4-3 to be able to do a second draft. So that's a bit awkward. But I just have to not suck. Alright. Operation above 50%. Unsurprisingly, everyone on the planet is starting Aetherdrift limited queues at this exact moment. Oh, I never switched scenes to the arena scene. I am a fool. I'm a professional streamer. Alright, let's see here. We've got... This guy is a 3-mana 4/2 that, like, can be a 6/4 and come back sometimes. We've got Hazard of the Dunes, which is just, like, a good creature. We have this, which is... Start your engines, max speed. I think I'll take that. I remember I watched a podcast where they were like, that card's insane. You should always take it. Alright, Fang Druid Summoner is like a decent-ish creature. I could go black-green. I heard them say black-green was very good. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try it. Let's try black-green. I always love my black-green decks in limited. despite the fact that they're normally bad, but this time apparently they're good. So let's try it. All right. So here we have. Yeah. All right. We're not taking that under any circumstances. Broken Wings is super niche. Chitin Gravestalker is artifacts. I mean, this card is fine, right? Like, are any of the rest of these at all exciting? Nothing jumps out to me. I should really just, like, not pick a card until I have another draft pack available so I can spend more time looking. It's a habit I need to get into. Alright, here we have Refueler is exhaust stuff. This is like 5 mana 3/3 flying haste lifelink. Or I could do this, is just like fine decent rate green cards. Yeah, let's take decent rate green cards with like a bit of max speed stuff going on. Alright, Earth Rumbler is kind of nutty. This card is great. We also could take another one of those or a run over, but I want to take the giant vehicle that crushes everyone's souls all the time. Alright, what's this? It's like a mediocre combat trick. Or a 1/1. This is an artifact creature that cycles. I don't know. This is a removal spell. It's not a great removal spell, but you gotta take your bad removal spells when you can. Ooh, Hazard of the Dunes. Love to see that. If that's pick 7. Then I'm probably, like, either green was completely stacked in that pack, or there's not that much green at this pod. Because Hazard of Dunes is, like, one of those cards that everyone's talking about, like, oh, this is great. 4 mana, 4/4, Trample Reach. Can be a 7/7. Alright, my curve is awful. My curve currently goes from 3 to 6. So I need some early stuff. I need some early stuff. I also need like some graveyard filling for these guys. It's not like super urgent. I also do want to grab a vanilla creature or 2 at some point. Alright, well there's a vanilla creature. And none of these are exciting. I could take another one of those, but it's not really interesting to me. I think I'm just going to take the giant 9/7. And confirm pick. Still no packs coming around to me. Alright. This person just needs to decide. Alright, Rise from the Wreck could get me like a couple... I don't know, it's probably gonna get me 2 things, right? I'm gonna say this probably gets me 2 things. This is pretty bad rate. Alright, we found a 2-mana spell. We've done it. We found a 2-mana spell. The curve no longer starts at 3. Alright, I mean, these are all just unplayable. I guess I'll take that for my sideboard if I'm really desperate. But 4 mana for an Unmoored Ego is a lot of mana. There's one person with 4 packs waiting on them. Can't be too mad on day 1, like 15 minutes after it's been released. Alright. Are any of these... No, these are all kind of bad and not in color. Power 2 or less. Yeah, I mean, it's a red card. That's the Signpost uncommon, right? So clearly no one is in black-red. Unfortunately, I am way too deep on green to pivot now. What is... Oh, do I take that? There's no way. There's no way I can take a 6-drop. This is just like clearly the best card in the pack by a huge amount. It's a removal spell. It's a 2 mana. Alright. Packdoll Terror. I remember them talking this up. I have like a weird amount of Start Your Engine stuff. This is a 2 mana 2/1 Death Touch, which is fine. I think I need the curve more than I need the card. Alright, this is a 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch, which seems fine by me. This is like a bear trap though. Doesn't have flash, but like, 1 mana 1/1 Death Touch is probably pretty good. I'm starting to get worried about like graveyard filling at this point. I'm starting to get worried that I'm not going to be able to fill my graveyard for this guy, and it's just going to be like a 6 mana 5/4. Alright. And then here we have 4 mana 4/3. Can cast it from the graveyard. Alright. Mill 3, return a land. This is exactly what I want. Just anything to put any cards in the graveyard. Because this relies on it. I think this relies on it. That relies on it. Alright, so here I could take a 2 mana 3/2 with some bad synergy. I could take a tap land. I do like having colors. Having colors is pretty cool. A 2 mana 3/2 is super disposable, I think. This is return a thing. This is draw 2 cards. I don't know, I think I like draw 2 cards more than return a thing. It's a lot cheaper. bad removal spell. Also kind of terrible removal spell. Flying Haster. I think I have to take the bad removal spell. God, this curve is kind of wacky. Another Ancient Vendetta comes along. 6 mana, 6/6 reach, cycling 2, gain 4. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I need early removal. Where on earth is the early removal in this draft pod, huh? This is a 2 mana 2/1, which can be like a 3/3, I guess. For the sake of the curve, I guess we're taking that. Alright, this is the annoying Death Touch one. This is a combat trick. I'll take the combat trick, I guess. Alright, we get a removal spell super late somehow. It's not a great removal spell, but it is a 1 mana. It is a thing I can do on turn 1 and then again on turn 3. I'll take Pactol Terror because it's very good at turning on the thing. Alright. I get a 2 mana 3/2 vanilla and a mountain. Alright, I could get another one of these. I could get another Tarian. I think I get another one of those. Like, the payoff for infinite 2/2s is really good. This is a really good combat trick. Alright, this is a really good combat trick. I'm going to take it. Enters, draw a card. Mounts become saddled. Vehicles become creatures. Alright. So this pack, it's between Grim Javelineer and Broken Wings. And I think this one, like, Surveil is fine. It's like a 3 mana 3/2, that'll be a 3 mana 4/2 if it's attacking. Mimeoplasm. God, I'm tempted to take Mimeoplasm. It's more principled to take Run Over. It's way more fun to take Mimeoplasm. No, I'm gonna take Run Over. There's no way. Alright, Ovia is pretty good. Better than a combat trick, better than off-color stuff. I mean, it gives my stuff trample, and I could cheat stuff into play. Alright, we get a Verge, actually. Or, I mean, we could have that. 7 mana's a lot of mana. I think just taking, like, a good card. Bestow Greatness is a combat trick. I think we take a combat trick over another giant top end. We have a lot of giant top end. That's not super special. Is this like worth dipping into? No. Let's take a 2-mana 2/1 Death Toucher. That sounds fun. So we need more ways of filling up the graveyard. That, like, our deck is kind of just green-black good cards, no real synergy with a lot of our, like, more expensive stuff. We have one Pothole Mole as the only way. Two mana, 3/1 Defender. No, we're just going to take the 2/1 Death Toucher. And I guess we can take another Omnivore and probably cut it. And some random card. I have 2 Verges, which is kind of cool. I like having good mana. We are pack 3, pick 11, and we are kind of missing some important things in the deck. I mean, I guess non-color land, an on-color combat trick, and then some random nonsense. Alright. What are we gonna cook here? I don't think Silken Strength is good. Let's cut that. I have, like, a lot of Death Touch creatures, actually. Like, a weird amount. There's no way I need 3 of these, right? This is like a 2-mana... It's like a 2-mana 3/3 a lot of the time, probably. Okay. Probably cut some top end. Siphon Fuel. Alright, I think... Honestly, I feel like I have enough expensive stuff in here that Ovia might be justified. And, like... I don't know, maybe... Rise from the Wreck seems like I'm just not gonna have enough graveyard to fill it. Or so I'm not gonna be good enough at filling graveyard for that. I'm probably not gonna be good enough at filling graveyard for the Gravestalker. I have like a lot of 2-mana spells, so I should cut probably one Omnivore. I want to have one of those in there just to grab with the Summoner in case I've already grabbed the other thing, or like drawn it naturally. And I think I cut like one of those. Let's see, what else do I have in here that isn't very good? My 3-mana spells, I have not that many of them, but they're all kind of cracked. Maybe Loxodon Surveyor is the worst, but I have some Start Your Engine stuff, so like I can probably draw a card with it. I love drawing 2 cards and burning my opponent for 2. How many other artifacts do I have? I have Pact Altair, I have Walking Sarcophagus. I can just check. I have 4 artifacts, some of which are quite expensive. But enabling itself is probably like okay-ish. Siphon Fuel is like my only good removal spell. How many lands do I have? So that's... math. 17 lands. I mean, this is going to be a tap land 99% of the time, but you can give me a 1/1. Which does crew Earth Rumbler, so that's something. I feel like Ovia is probably the cut. I mean, it's a 4-mana 1/2, which is just incredibly embarrassing. It's just not that far from my top end anyway, so like I could cast the spells I'm getting off of Ovia just by casting them. 2 more cuts. This is a 1/1 Death Toucher. Maximum Overdrive is like probably my best combat trick. Momentum Breaker is removal. I like my 2/1 Death Touchers. I'm not sure I like this, but it makes Pactile Terror a lot better. And it's like fine even without it. This is like fine, but I gotta cut something. I think I'll cut that. And I think I'll cut 1 Venom Sac. Alright. Let's try this out for a spin. This might go poorly, but it needs to go well. Alright, I actually just have, like, perfect mana. I can probably... want to play my tap land on 1. Alright. Forest on 2. Let's start running stuff out. Alright, they're just cycling a thing. That's fine. I have my guys in play. I can start my engines and attack with the Engine Rat. Or not. Oh no, that's just until end of turn. Cool, alright. So let's start engines, deal a damage, and get up to 2. Now I do need to hit a 4th land drop. If I don't hit a 4th land drop, I'm going to be in quite a lot of trouble. Alright, I'm officially in quite a lot of trouble. I could run this over. I could cycle this in desperation. Deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. Yeah, okay. Death Touch you, swing for 4. Miss a land drop. I think the 4 damage there is probably worth it. They have another one. Alright, I hit the land. Let's go to combat first. They let both through. We are at max speed. And I think I play out the Hazard of the Dunes. Not sure why they didn't block that. I guess scrap compactor reasons. Alright. Creatures attack me, get -1/-0 until end of turn. And it can exhaust for 1 billion mana to get very big. Alright, they destroy target artifact. That's fine. Missing my 5th land is not fine. But I think these are all still good attacks. Oh no, the Engine Rat is a bad attack. Actually, yeah, these are all bad attacks now. Whoops. Forgot about this guy. I somehow get through without being punished. And I will drain you for 1. I need to get rid of this so that my deck can work. I would love to draw a land. I would love to draw a land so I can Siphon Fuel that guy and probably just win. Hull Drifter, draw 2 cards. Yeah, alright. Alright. Untapped land is great. So I'm going to get rid of that and then jam with a billion creatures. That's crew 3 even, which is just like horrific for you. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a good blocker. You're dead, right? Yeah, block 3. Alright, and that's just, you know, Golgari, mid-range, just beat down, play a bunch of big creatures, remove your blockers, win. Easy money. Alright, so that's 100 gems. Well, that win gets me 50 gems. The next one gets me 150 gems. Alright, well, game 1. We stumbled a lot on mana, but we still sort of crushed it. Max speed was not relevant, but close enough. This hand just like does nothing until turn 4. Alright, this at least has early removal. I can go like 2 mana removal spell into a mill thing into this guy, get me something, and then just go from there. This hand is pretty good. So the question is, do I get rid of the Surveyor or the Mole? I think I get rid of the Surveyor because the Mole sort of draws me a card and turns on my synergy. Momentum Breaker is going to be awkward to play on tempo. Yeah, okay, so we're just going to pass there. I don't want to do this 2 mana discard a card. And this turn, getting the Mole down. Alright. Lovely, drew me a land. So this is a 1/3 that can get much bigger at some point. Alright, so this turn I could Momentum Breaker, get speed up to 2, but they probably have something. Or I could just like run out the Summoner, get a guy. Nah, I'm gonna try this. Instantly resolved. Do they just not have? All right, speed is hit 2. They had nothing. I love it when my opponents do nothing while I'm building up to max speed. This is end step at max speed. Alright. Let's play a land. I think I just attack with my Death Toucher. And I am going to play the Summoner, search my library, and get a 9/7. Have fun with that. Opponent has been doing very little all game. Alright, so I actually need triple green for that, so I'm not going to cast it right away. And I cannot guarantee guess I'll attack with my Death Toucher. See what they do. They take damage. That's great for me. Now that we hit max speed, I'm just gonna play this guy out and get a 2/2. Alright, they get another Thopterist. Fang Druid Summoner has reach, which is very cool. Pact Altera might... It's probably not. I'm at 18. There's probably no real risk of getting drained. So they've hovered Risen Necro Regent. They might have the 1 mana black sack a creature, destroy something. That would suck for me. They don't. Well, do I have good attacks here? Not really. I'm going to jam out my 9/7. It hits play. I think I just pass here. Just continue making 2/2s. And they cycle their Gravestalker. That's probably great news for me. Alright, they have played a Raceway. What did that do? Make a bunch of Thopters and drain a bunch? Alright, well, I've certainly taken a bunch of damage now. And a Momentum Breaker. Yeah, I'll just get rid of a random 2/2. That's fine. So I might get drained out here. I'll play out Pact Altera to gain me one of those life back. I'll attack with my 9/7. See if they can have fun blocking it. They block with a 3/2 instead of a Thopter. That's a bit surprising. Alright. The board is currently almost stable. They can attack in the air for a fair amount. Like 3 get through this turn, then 2 next turn, then 1 the turn after that. Which is not lethal. But it is scary, especially with any future artifacts with their Pact Altera. Oh, Bestow Greatness. Oh, Bestow Greatness. How I love you. Probably not gonna use it. Just because, like, they're not close to dying. Alright, top or bottom? I think top. And I could Beast Strider Vanguard. Actually, how much mana do I have? I have 7 mana. No, okay. I think we pass the turn. We make another 2/2. And I'm probably going to crack the Momentum Breaker to gain life and activate Beast Strider Vanguard to just grab my Tarion back. Alright. Opponent is still definitely not... They're not attacking, which is definitely good for me. I have a Necro Regent in play. I'm going to gain some life real quick. And Vanguard. Do I grab the Tarion or do I grab a second I think I grab a second Necro Regent. The value is just it's just so much better. All right, you get out. This even pings you for 1. And they have a couple of high toughness creatures. I think I still have to pass. We are definitely in a board stall situation. But boy, am I getting 2 zombies a turn. Yep, opponent can gain 2 life. They really should wait for max value on that. Alright, Transit Mage is very scary. That could win them the game, depending on what they get. Another Pactol Terror. Alright. I think I need to... So I can scrap Compactor to kill one of the Pactol Terrors. And yeah, you get out of here. And with that out of the way, I still don't have great attacks. I mean, if I attack with 5 2/2s, they can eat 2 of them and take 6 and be fine. No, I think I still have to pass. They're just at too high of a life total. If I can get rid of this second Pactol Terror, I think it becomes worth it. Alright, there's a vehicle. I get pinged for 1, and they're up to max speed, which I don't think matters at all. Alright, now I think we start pushing damage with this Bestow Greatness. Let's leave decent blockers back. So Bestow Greatness can save a Necro Regent. And also push damage, which is great. So they're pumping up the Skybox Fairy, probably to block a Necro Regent. Alright. I think it doesn't really matter which one I pump. I'm going to pump this one probably. No, they're thinking about it. Ooh, the triple block there. Does that... Alright, they're doing all sorts of complicated blocking maneuvers. So that's 7. So this saves it and eats both of them. I love that for me. And they are empty-handed. Alright. So they can do that. I'll put that there. Alright. Operation Deal Damage to my opponent is successful. And they can draw a card. Yeah, maybe I should have killed the Thopterist, but... What is it? What is this? What, a 2/3? Alright, they can discard a card, draw a card. And I can activate my Vanguard. Ooh, I do love grabbing an Earth Rumbler. That's pretty fun. Alright, well, I'm just going to play that out. Drain them for 1. And now these attacks are all great. Ah, Necro Regent, what a fun card. Just a billion 2/2s forever. And I even managed to get all of their 3 toughness or higher creatures off the board, so this attack is just like they have to trade off their entire board for it. And Earth Rumbler is okay. They've just accepted defeat, which is entirely reasonable. Earth Rumbler as a giant trampler would have probably sealed the deal. Alright. That's another W. Alright, next win is the biggest value jump. It's 750 gems if I win this next game. And then the win after that is the one that lets me do another draft, which would be very, very nice, because otherwise this stream will end annoyingly early. But I think my deck is pretty good. I mean, we've gone under them game 1. We've completely gone over them game 2. Yeah, this is fine. Play a tap land on 1. Probably a 3-2 on 2. Opponent is Selesnya. I do need to hit my 3rd land drop. If I do not hit my 3rd land drop, I will be very sad. If I do hit my 3rd land drop, I can get the mole. Alright. The land drop is an L. So that's awkward. Hopefully 2 mana spells can get me there. Honestly, I might want to rage add a land. Hazret Godseeker. Very cool. Engines have started, and that's a mount, so I think I'm just cooked here. I think I'm just gonna get completely obliterated here. Like, please. Well, I'll start my own engines and attack for 5. But I don't know how I race the Lagoran Hazoret deck. Especially not with 2 mana available. Like, I can Momentum Breaker something, I guess. And both of these are saddled. Man, they're playing 3-color aggro and not getting punished for it. I just realized. That's some bullshit right there. Just 3-color aggro, perfect mana. Well, I can make them sacrifice a creature or vehicle of their choice. Probably Cloudspire Captain. Well, I mean, that's going to have flying. The toughness boost doesn't matter at all. I guess I just attack in, get a speed. This has vigilance. Alright, well, I feel like of all the games to get tremendously unlucky and miss my 3rd land drop for like 5 turns on is what, 3 turns now? Like, the game where my opponent has Lagoran and just basically has everything they could ever want is probably the best one for that to happen in. Yeah, and I am officially dead. Opponent, they really played the old 3-color aggressive deck with perfect mana. You hate to see it. You hate to see them get away with it. Remember when I was disciplined and added a removal spell instead of the Mimeoplasm? Opponent was not disciplined. They took the Hazoret. Alright. Let's go into another one. If I have mana trouble again, I am just going to rage out a land. Alright. This is 2 mana. 2 mana, nothing until turn 3. I guess I keep it. I do have a cycler. Alright, I'm going to gain a life. And hope they're playing something grindy and slow. They're doing white. Start your engines. Alright, they're doing red-white aggro. So now the plan is hope my opponent's red-white aggro deck just trips all over itself. Choose a non-land card name. Alright. On the incredibly slim chance they choose the right one, I'm going to cycle immediately. And I didn't hit the land. Opponent is thinking really hard, and it is like basically impossible for them to guess correctly. They could guess Earth Rumbler, I guess. Crew is an activated ability. No, they guess some random nonsense that I've never heard of. I'm going to play the land and hopefully hit another land. Yes. Alright, so triple green is a thing because of the 9/7, so I'll grab a forest. And they can crew that and attack for 3. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, the lands are coming. I can answer the chariot with siphon fuel, I guess. No good attacks here. Pact Altair gains me a life, which might, every little bit helps. Alright, I think I just have to start my engines here. Like, I have so... And I think I will attack. These attacks are safe. Alright, that is brutal. So now I need a way to continue ticking my engines up. And also I'm going to need to siphon fuel that at some point. So I have 6 mana. I guess these attacks are safe again. They might have another one of that removal spell. But I would love to kill a creature of theirs. Yep, it dies, they get a guy back, whatever. So they're at max speed. I am still stuck at 1. I'll make them commit to attacks. And I will kill that and gain 2. And suddenly I am not under any real pressure. So that's pretty cool. Cloudspire, Sky Cycle. 2 1/1 counters on things, and it is crew 1. That's annoying. 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so I can play the Sarcophagus and an Earth Rumbler. These attacks aren't even good. Like, they have a 2/6. So at least Earth Rumbler will be able to get some stuff done. I have 2 creatures, so that's like 2 good attacks. And that's a flyer, which is again kind of problematic for me. But it's only 2 power, which means the clock is a lot slower. I should have enough time to dig my way out of this. Alright, first things first. Exile an Engine Rat from the graveyard. And I guess... no, the Necro Regent, I guess it can go in. Like, they could have more of that exile a thing, but just meaning like they can't block 7 and not have the engines go up. Well, I'm going to play out the rest of my creatures. So Earth Rumbler is still a major threat. And also I just do have like 2 5/4s in play, so that's fun. They're going to get a vehicle back as a non-vehicle and name Earth Rumbler. So I'll have to pay 2 to crew, which honestly like isn't that bad. I have a lot of mana. Yeah, I have a lot of mana. I'm going to exile a Ketradon, pay 2, and get in with the big guys. Alright, well, the interface ace certainly is doing its job. I'm up to 3, and there's nothing I could get off of the Vanguard that would matter at this exact moment. So I think next turn I might be able to swing out and present lethal. Like, I have these 3 2 power guys who haven't been attacking. Yeah, they're just gonna crew up their Sky Cycle. So they can swing in for potentially 5. Yeah, and yeah. The Earth Rumbler, just too strong. Just too worth using. And we get another win. Alright, opponent did the classic limited aggro thing where they just were playing an aggressive deck and stumbled over themselves and died. Alright, 1 more win and we guarantee another draft for today. That's exciting. If you're enjoying, make sure to follow. We get a match. Alright. Got lots of 2 mana stuff to do. We've got lots of stuff to do. None of it is like spectacular, but you can go Omnivore into Momentum Breaker into Run Over. Alright. Rakdos deck plays a 2/2. I think we Momentum Breaker here to start our engines, because we have a Necro Regent as usual. So we are at 2. Opponent has played a tap land to gain a life, and a 3/1. Do I want to trade this for the Omnivore? I think I'm fine with that. No, they let it through. Alright, we're up to 3. And we even get a Pact Altair in, which will block this if they want to attack with it. When it enters, sack a creature, destroy target artifact. Alright, there goes the Pact Altair, which is a bit of a shame, but not a huge deal ultimately. God, it would have been so good though. I think I don't know. I think I'll attack here. I'm not hitting my 5th land, so there's no real need to like turbo to max speed. I'll just play out the Sarcophagus this turn. And I guess while I have the mana for it, I'll play the Scrap Compactor. So I just need a way to get any damage through. I have 2 removal spells to do it, but I just need to get 1 ping through to get to max speed. Alright, well, let's go to combat. See if they have a removal spell for my Sarcophagus. They do. That's fine. Post-combat, I will play a Surveyor. The old 3-mana 3/3. Mill 2 cards, then destroy the target permanent. They're using a lot of removal spell on things that aren't named Risen Necro Regent. I have, however, just completely bricked. I have nothing to do this turn, except for Scrap Compact or something. Sheffet Archfiend, you say? Well, that's fun. I can't 6 mana that. I guess 3 mana and 3 life, 4 life, not that big of a deal. Alright. The Pothole Mole will get me my 5th land. And now we pass. Alright, they attack. So if they don't have a blocker, this could get me to max speed. Death Touch and Indestructible could save me. Nope, they're taking it. Max speed acquired. And I'm just going to start running out Risen Necro Regents. Hopefully you do not have a way of dealing 4 toughness. I don't know, my opponent's got to have some removal, right? Like, they have 7 mana, 2 cards in hand. Yeah, okay, 6 damage to target creature or player, that makes sense. Opponent's got a lot of removal in their deck, that's for sure. This does nothing interesting once it's up. Alright. They draw 2. They discard a card and draw 2. Alright, well, I am losing this race. A good risky shortcut of my own. I'm just going to play another Necro Regent. I need, like, another land, lets the Scrap Compactor destroy their Archfiend, and then I'm good to go. They can't hit max speed this turn, so they can't give everything haste. Siphon Fuel is very good. Engine Rat is pretty good. Now they're up to 3, which is scary. And I still just have not hit. So this has reach. I really just badly need to hit a land drop. And also not, like, die to a 5/5. Let's try doing some Loxodon surveying. Alright, Siphon Fuel means if I live this turn, I stabilize. If I live this turn, I stabilize. But I am going to be going to 2 here, which is not fun. Please, no pump spells. Alright. No pump spells. Oh, they have the rat activation. Oh, I was so close. If I had hit a land, if I just hit a land, that a 6th land would have done it. I think I'm going to add a land to the deck. Alright. You have been bad every single time. Just give me another forest, please. Alright, we have another forest. Hopefully that helps. We just need a win. And we instantly have a 4-land hand. Alright. We're keeping this. So it's going to be turn 2 Omnivore, turn 3 Momentum Breaker to clear a path for the Omnivore. Well, play a basic forest. The Verge can enter untapped at any point. 2 mana 3/3. That's pretty scary. I'll play a 2 mana 3/2. The old vanilla showdown. No blocks. I would love to get Momentum Breaker. No, the fight spell. Alright, so it worked out the same way anyway. Well, now we just make land drops. So they have a 1/1. I have land drops. So I think this is going to be Slam Necro Regent to start your engines. Kara something of Heart of Something. Alright. So they get a mount or a vehicle into their hand, and then they get 1/1 counter synergy. Alright. But what if I played a 9/7 though? Have you considered that? Pothole Mole. Alright. Time to start. So they could theoretically trade their entire board for my Tarian, which would be kind of bad for me. So I will Momentum Breaker them. They get rid of that. And then I will Scrap Compactor them. And get rid of that. It's a nice board you got there. Shame if something would have happened to it. And attack you for 9. And you can chump block. No! Exile target creature or vehicle. How dare you? That's so rude. Alright. Venom Sac and a Scooter. Alright. Well, we certainly have a Necro Regent in hand. Do we even run this out? Like, that has Death Touch. We're not blocking it. No, I think we pass and hold up Siphon Fuel. This is an instant. So with 2 Siphon Fuels, we can like play for a long time. They crew the Scouter. I think I'll kill their Death Touch creature over their 3/2. I'm not cracking Momentum Breaker for 1 life. Alright, Hazard of the Dunes is fine. I have another Siphon Fuel. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I'm too short of doing both at the same time. I have a Hazard of the Dunes in my deck, by the way. It would be cool if I were to draw it at any point. Yeah, no, you get out of here, please. Oh wait, no, you have 7 mana because this is a mana dork. Oh, that's so awful for me. Yeah, they have 7 mana because that's a mana dork. Alright, well, I take 1 this turn, but now I need to beat a 7/7. Aha! A Death Touch creature. That'll do, pig. I'm going to cause you to lose 2 life to get max speed up. And then I will absolutely take that block any day of the year. Go to 7, but get rid of your guy. When it attacks, put an artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Alright, well, I'm going to play the Necro Regent now. That's crew 6, which they shouldn't be able to do. Oh, do I have to take this block? No, I'm not going to take that block. I think if I take that block, I just am accepting that I'm going to lose the game in a couple turns. I think I need to go to 2. Now I should have played the Earth Rumbler. It would have been a 7/6 and stopped that from happening. What artifact cards are in their graveyard? Just that guy? Alright, well, I have dudes to play. And I think I attack with the Necro Regent, because this is always on defense. I get up to speed 3. I am so close. I am so close to stabilizing. But I think they're... Yeah, okay. Oh, that's so annoying. I'm dead now, right? I have 1 blocker. Alright. Well, we take our block to stay alive. And we draw a land and die. I'm pretty sure they could have killed me that turn by just not crewing the 6/10, but unfortunately our opponent just had everything at all times. We drew all of our lands. Alright, we have 1,400 gold. You will notice it costs 1,500 gems to enter a Premier Draft. So, what we do now is I guess we do a quick draft. Are any of these cheaper? No, that's more expensive. So I guess our line now is we... Oh, could we do a constructed event? Do these reward in gems? Alright, constructed events reward in gems. Alright, so the plan is we do an explorer event, or does traditional explorer also reward in gems? Yes, but I can't afford it. Alright, so we do an explorer event, and we need to go 3-3. Alright. Alright. Best of one is at Phoenix. I don't really believe in you, but you can try. Hopefully all the sweats and tryhards will be off playing limited anyway. So I need to get enough gems to do another draft, basically. Alright, well, we have Interaction and Phoenixes. And it's best of one. Opponent's mulliganing, let's go. It's huge. We'll take every little bit we can get. Alright, opponent is mulliganed to 5. Hopefully they kept a bad hand. We are not looking for fun interactive games of Magic. We are looking to steamroll them so that we can play draft. Alright. A Sunblast Healer. I don't know if opponent is cooking up something spicy or if they're playing like a beginner deck. Basic Plains into Basic Swamp into Basic Swamp makes me think beginner deck. Inspiring Overseer doesn't quite change that impression. Well, I'm going to play a Phoenix and attack him with it. Alright. The trade has occurred. So my Phoenix can come back. Alright, Dazzling Angel. Opponent is just playing a beginner deck. Which, you know, normally you're like, oh, but it's bad content. I'm trying to farm wins. We take these. I don't think I have the resources for 2 Treasure Cruise. I barely have the resources for 1. In fact, yeah, I don't have the resources for 1. Take an Artist Talent. That's great. Get my 2 Phoenixes. And yeah, again, we are just doing this because we need gems to enter another draft. Now, opponent is playing a beginner deck. They are probably just completely cooked here. Hinterland Sanctifier. Alright. Artist Talent. I guess I'll Treasure Cruise here. I have nothing else to do with my mana, and I'm not scared enough to want to Spell Pierce their thing. Accordingly, I will discard the Spell Pierce. Alright, 2 Artist's Talent. That's a lot of Artist's Talent. Alright, Moment of Craving buys them a lot of time. But they are still... You know, they are still 1-for-1ing Phoenixes and putting them to the graveyard. They really are playing life gain. Okay. Prophesied Memory. Get rid of one of these Artist Talent. Another Phoenix is pretty cool. I will Lightning Axe. Discarding a card to get rid of that, and I just need... Yes, we found an opt. Alright, I need 1 more cantrip. Come on, give me a cantrip. Alright, find the other opt. And... Phoenixes are coming back. and the existing Phoenix is getting big. They might be dead this turn? I'm not sure. Yeah, they are if they don't have a removal spell. Alright. 1 game down. 1 win down, 2 to go. Just keep on trucking with these. Just hopefully farm more noobs until we get the gems to do another draft. That is the plan of the day. Alright, yep, this is a decent hand. We've got Artist's Talent, we've got cantrips, we've got interaction. It's pretty much everything you want out of an opening hand. The Phoenixes will show up at some point. Alright. Opponent has played double Leyline Nykthos. So I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. But they have no follow-up. They do need to actually be able to activate Nykthos. So I'm just going to do my thing and hope they continue to stumble. Alright, they find a forest. I will opt. Get rid of Artist's Talent. Get rid of Artist's Talent. Alright, what if that was just like in your hand real quick? How about that? You can have a fish. So we've taken them off of one of their ley lines, which hopefully will slow them down a bit. Invasion of Ixalan. And they do find another forest. And they're just attacking me. I guess I'll kill the fish for fun. I don't hardly ever play against this in best of 3, so I would be lying if I told you I knew what their plan was. Like, obviously they're going to generate a huge amount of mana, but I don't know if they're trying to, like, cast giant spells or giant creatures or what. So, like, a null could be game-winning here, but I actually just have no idea. Well, I'm going to cast my spells, get another Phoenix for next turn. We are attacking them. So whatever they're trying to figure out, they are going to need to do it soon. Alright, there's the billions of mana that they now have access to with Kiora. Let's see what they do with 6 green mana. Outcast or Trailblazer. And Old Growth Troll. Nothing with reach, right? And Llanowar Elves. Yep, that's to be expected. And Llanowar Elves. Alright. Low-key, I might be able to deal with this. Kill the Troll. Discard the Phoenix. Discard Pathway. Yep, they get their Troll back. We opt. Discard a land. Sleight of Hand, this is the third spell for turn. I'll keep all the Storm Giants. Fiery Impulse can shut out the Trailblazer. And I will decline. I think I need my cantrip for next turn. And my all the Storm Giants for potentially a win con. I can kill their Kiora. So they're definitely better off than they were last turn, but not by that much. Alright, they have another Kiora. And an Elvish Mystic. And a billion mana off of the Nykthos. And another Troll. And now they replay the Leyline. Another Llanowar Elves. Alright, if this last card isn't a payoff... Alright. And they're going to get a 4/4. Another Llanowar Elves. Alright, we have faded again. They still haven't managed to completely win. I'm going to keep my spells. Treasure Cruise is great. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would love if there were a Prophetic Memory in here so I can get the show on the road more. Accordingly, I'm going to discard that Consider, I guess. And opt. Spell Pierce is far too late. They have a billion mana. I guess I kind of have to keep the Treasure Cruise. Is Prophetic Memory still in the deck? Looks like it. Well, I will play a land and a Picklock Prankster. Now, I don't think there's a point killing the Kiora anymore. They have infinite mana whether they untap the Nykthos or not, so I'm just going to put them to 8 and say you have to win this turn. You have to win this turn, or exile my Phoenixes, or you just die. What is that? Flip 2. Permanent card into your hand. Well, they're attacking it with 2, so I can't stop them. Alright, so they get a 4/3. Trample. Lair of the Hydra is tapped. And they concede, and we win. Alright. Another Highway Robbery by, is it Phoenix? Alright, well, Game 1 we stole ice cream from a baby. Game 2 we stole like $20 from like a bank. Now we just need to win like a normal game of Magic against a normal opponent. Alright, this is another good hand. This is another good hand. I'm going to keep it. I got cantrips, I got removal. And we're up against green-red aggro. So I'm just going to play an untapped land. Have my mana available. It's going to be probably like Burning Tree Emissary. No, Hardcast and Aloe Alchemist. Well, I will just not deal with that at all. Picklock Prankster is too important for my own game plan to discard. Alright. Another untapped land. Opponent gets to flip their Etching of Kamano. I would love to torch the tower that, unless they give me 2 more targets that I need to attack. Alright, another target creature gets +1/+1 in haste. So Torch has to go now to kill that. Now this can hit the board. Another Kamano. And no No thank you, I would love to stay at 18. Play a tap land and pass. Alright, so we are officially low on interaction. Yep, here comes the Burning Tree Emissary. As a 3/3. Another Alchemist. Alright, free the Fae, find me something good. Well, I get an Opt. I will cast an Opt immediately to try to land drop. We find a tap land. Well, I'm going to pass and Floodmaw something, I guess. I'd really love to consider first to hopefully find an actual removal spell. Treasure Cruise is unfortunately not good enough here. I'm going to Floodmaw the Burning Tree Emissary because I don't think mana's a bottleneck anymore. And it doesn't plot to give a huge buff from hand, so back you go. I'll take 5, which is pretty scary. They're going to replay the Burning Tree Emissary, of course. Alright, we have a Phoenix. I think I'm going to need to like cantrip into a Lightning Axe. No, okay. No cantrip into a Lightning Axe. In that case, I'm just going to run out my Phoenix on defense and trade with the Etching of Kamano. So the Phoenix will be exiled if I take this block. But I just have to do that. Please don't have some silly combat Atarka's Command. Okay, that doesn't... Alright, so Atarka's Command, second Atarka's Command means I think I'm dead. Yep, alright. They got me. Aggressive decks. Phoenix is not always the best against aggressive decks, which makes it a bit dubious to play it in best of one, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's still, like, fine. Alright, currently waiting. So yeah, while we're waiting, make sure to follow you if you've been enjoying the content. I'm trying to grow this channel. It would mean a lot to me. So yeah, I'll say that. Normally when I say that, another match shows up immediately and cuts it short. But it didn't happen this time, which means I've realized I don't know what it's actually cutting it short from saying. Alright. We did find one. Alright, Spud 84. What do you have? Hopefully it isn't very good. This is fine. It's nothing exciting, but I do have to play a pathway on red immediately, which kind of sucks. I need to have Fire Impulse. Oh, okay. Yep, we're doing food stuff, probably. Don't love that. Alright. Is this just Rakdos Midrange with Witch's Oven for some reason? It could be. Let's fill up the graveyard. Alright, Lightning Axe is great. It means I can get a Phoenix into play next turn. So next turn I can go Fire Impulse, Opt, Lightning Axe, discard a Phoenix. Alright, there's a Cauldron Familiar. There is a Cauldron Familiar. The plan is to just deal lots of damage very quickly, so hopefully that's fine. I need the opt for my spells this turn. Speed number 1. Artist's Talent is not going to be something I cast this turn, but it is important enough. That I will keep it for future Phoenixes. So they're going to probably turn that into food. And boy, if I had Torch the Tower, I would be laughing. But I don't have Torch the Tower, I just have a Lightning Axe. And I don't want a Treasure Cruise because that would get rid of my Phoenix. So I'll just get the Phoenix back and go to attacks. With Profts on the board and Artist Talent in play, alright, they can Fatal Push me, that's fine. So I am pretty well set up to do huge amounts of damage very quickly. If I can just get like Picklock Prankster to stick or something. Mayhem Devil. I need to find an answer to Mayhem Devil. Like, immediately. I think Mayhem Devil might be a Treasure Cruise exiling the Phoenix Desperation line. Like, that's very bad. Although I could probably afford to spend 2 mana on a Treasure Cruise here. If I hit a removal spell, we're golden. I can Sleight of Hand into a removal spell. Alright. That's pretty bad. I can play a Picklock Prankster and have it be pretty large. So can they sack 3 permanents in response? Familiar, food... I think they can. Alright, well... better this going to the Prankster. Better this going to the Prankster than going to my face, I guess, but... we needed to hit a removal spell for the Devil, and we did not find one. And now opponent just probably kills me. They say good game. Oh, they have the infinite combo. Cool. I do love it when my opponent's super lean, efficient, mid-rangey aggro deck also just has an infinite combo in it. It's super easy to interact with and easy to beat. Alright. I don't mean to panic, but I do need to win this next game, or I still can't do a draft. I just want to do a draft. Just pair me against another starter deck. Please just pair me against another starter deck. I'm begging you. Currently waiting for opponent. Alright, Time Man 3400. Please be playing something janky and bad. Alright, this is an auto mulligan. This is like the same hand, but with better interaction. I think we bottomed the Phoenix. It's another red aggressive deck. Oh, I hate this so much. So I have to Sleight of Hand to find a land. It's another Steam Vents, which I think means I lose. I think double Steam Vents is probably just unwinnable. And they have the Monstrous Rage. Alright, well, we can Lightning Axe that one. Hopefully Fiery Impulse their next one. But opponent is going to need to get pretty unlucky to lose this game. Alright, a Slick Shot Show Off. They should not have probably played that. Alright, yeah. Fiery Impulse the Slick Shot Show Off. Still take 2. Alright, I'm at 7. I think I play a 1-3 blocker. I think we are at play a 1-3 blocker mode. Kamano doesn't kill me. Alright, that was just them trying to get a freebie. I need interaction more than I need lands. I can't even afford to take a Phoenix. Alright, well, I have Vigilance, so I'll get a point of damage in. And they have a Soulscar Mage. Alright, they're doing that again. Alright, Lightning Axe. I'm not dead yet. So that flips into a guy. I can Lightning Axe one of the etchings. Floodmaw. Alright, well, I think I have to Lightning Axe to show off. Alright, so we passed the blockers. We block the Soulscar Mage. We kill the Show Off. Discard the Spell Pierce. I've just realized this leaves me Floodmawing and Etchings of Kamano. Alright, well, I am super dead here. I'm going to 1 when they have an Etchings of Kamano in hand. Alright. Man, I am, like, uncannily good at getting exactly 1 win fewer than what I need to draft. So I am now at 1490. And what can I even do at this point? I can't. I'm literally 10 gems short. I don't know, maybe some gems will mystically appear in here. Alright, none of you are gems. Are you a gem? Nope, Tithe Taker. Alright, well, that's very frustrating. So even if I complete the quest, it won't give me enough to do another thing. So I guess I could do Bloomburrow Draft and try to go 6 wins. So I could go Bloomburrow Draft, try to get 6 wins. This isn't cheap, right? That's 2,000. Starter deck duel, does this have any monetary rewards? No. Alchemy event is the same ratio. Now we need to go 5-3 in a constructed event. I need to go 5-3 in a constructed event in order to get positive gems. Or that, what? 6-3 in Bloom in Quick Draft. Oh, it's so irritating to be at 1490 gems. I guess. Yep, I guess we are just gonna end the stream here. Just the most frustrating. Like, if I weren't anywhere close, it would be fine. But I'm like 400 gold. Like, I complete the quest, I'm 400 gold short of another constructed event. And I'm literally 10 gems short of the, what's it called? Maybe Color Mastery's green. Nope. Do any of these... I don't think any of the achievements actually give any stonks. So I guess... I guess we're just... I mean, I could do more constructed, but I don't want to... I want to play Aetherdrift Limited at the moment. I don't want to play more Is It Phoenix. So yeah, I guess that is that. We have unfortunately just completely failed. We literally needed one win. We needed one more win across 2 events, and we would be happily playing another draft now, but as it is, I'm just feeling kind of demoralized. I'm going to end the stream. Make sure to follow. We'll be back here on Thursday. Should have enough by then. Should have enough by then to do another draft. So make sure to stop by for that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for Satisfactory, a game where you cannot lose so badly you have to stop